Good morning. I want you to look at the chaos in Minneapolis and ask yourself one question. Who benefits? The Democrats? The Republicans? We're going to talk about this morning on the morning intel brief because I believe what you're going to see, once you understand it, it all makes sense. Because who benefits is the biggest question. The Democrats get their crisis. The GOP gets their proof, and the president gets his justification. This is not just a riot. This is a strategically laid trap. Welcome to the Morning Intel Brief. All right, we've got to get oriented. Minneapolis is in chaos again. I say again. Another shooting, another federal operation, another night of crowds in the street, gas in the air, and politicians racing to the nearest microphone. And right on cue, the media is branding this George Floyd 2.0. But I spent 20 years in a world where you don't get the luxury of emotional reactions. On a submarine, you look at the data, you look at the vectors, you look at the water depth, and you ask one question: who benefits from this specific crisis right now? Because in politics, just like in warfare, chaos is rarely accidental. It's a resource. I want you to look at the board. Everyone gets something out of this. First, the Democrats. They get exactly what they need: a narrative of federal overreach. They get to point at Minneapolis and say, look at the chaos caused by these enforcement squads. It justifies their push against federal jurisdiction and rallies their base right when they needed a spark. Think of how no one is suddenly talking about all of the fraud at the the Learning Center. Also, for you conspiracy theorists, yesterday in Congress, there was a judiciary meeting, a congressional hearing, where they were asking all of these questions about Tim Walz, about all of the fraud, about all of this happening. And right on cue, something happened. The letter Q, for all of you QAnon folks that I never got into. Second, let's talk about the Republicans. They get what they've been waiting for. Undeniable proof that Minneapolis is a hotbed for the very issues they've been campaigning on. They can point to the ICE operatives or ICE operations, the fugitive hunts, and say, see, the border crisis isn't at the border anymore. It's in your backyard, which is exactly where it is. And finally, the president, Donald Trump, now has the footage, the headlines, and I would say the justification he's been looking for. He can point to a city that, in his view, has lost total control. He can point to the governor. He can point to the mayor. You know, that guy that speaks Somalian and does the weird dances. This is why we need the Insurrection Act. Trump is going to say that. I really believe he's going to address the nation. And coming up in just I think about a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most, he's probably going to push it ahead, is the state of the nation address, right? He's going to bring all of this up. And this is why we need troops on the ground. He's going to use all of this. That this isn't a tragedy, that this is a three-way win for the political class. The only people losing are the ones living in the neighborhoods burning down. Now, is this George Floyd 2.0? Leave a comment in the chat if you think it is. Because visually, yes. Strategically, no. In 2020, the system lost control of the narrative. This time, they walked into it with their eyes wide open. The federal government is testing the waters to see exactly how much enforcement that the public will tolerate and how much chaos is justified or required to justify the next level of control. My job here isn't to tell you which side to pick. My job is to tell you, watch the hands, not the magic trick. Minneapolis isn't just a city in turmoil this morning. It's a battlefield preparation for what comes next. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We're going to get into some of this. I've got a lot of stuff to show you. Any of you that want to support the channel, become a member, get into the Discord chat, into the server. It's private. It's troll free. All the money from the super chats and memberships on the channel go to help veterans with service dogs. And I've been in contact with 2 veterans that live in Minneapolis that are now looking to get out of the city. 2 of them I spoke with last night actually it feels like, where they were deployed to. And they never thought that something like this would come home to where they live. But thank you for watching. Let's jump right into this. This is the morning intel brief. All right, so let's go. Let's kick it off right here with just kind of a rundown of what's happening. And if you've been on planet Earth, you know exactly what's happening. But we need to do this. We need to put these pieces together. We do not buy puzzles at yard sales because you're always going to miss a piece. Federal officials say good, a U.S. citizen and a Minneapolis mother of 6. They always try to humanize everyone. And it's always about think of the children. You have to think of the children. And that's exactly what the Democrat Party is really good at when it's convenient. When it's not convenient, well, let's put Planned Parenthood clinics outside of the, their rallies. But that's what they like to do. Let's all make it make sense now. January 7th, which is an odd day for something like this to happen. Or is it odd? Let's think back to January 6th. I think it was 5 years ago. More chaos that they can blame on Trump. I believe we're going to have an entire month of this, right? I believe it's going to get worse because the end of January, we have the government shutdown. Here's what we got going on right now. Leftists in Minneapolis are now burning the American flag because nothing says let's protest in the name of a rioter like burning an American flag. And the Democrat Party didn't actually get everything they wanted. I believe that they would have loved for it to have been and we'll just be blunt here. I'm a veteran. We'll be blunt. I believe what they wanted was a black woman with 5 kids. That's what they wanted. Instead, they got a lesbian with a wife and I think some kids from Missouri. That's not what they wanted. They needed a couple of more boxes to be ticked to complete the entire propaganda machine. Would have been perfect if this was not a white woman. Let's go.
Bob, I want to jump in here. I want to ask you where you're at right now. And we're seeing the images on the screen. There's that flag you were talking about being burned here. What kind of things are they shouting? The crowd that's out there. I know they're obviously not happy ICE is there. They've been talking about that. What are they saying? What's the energy like where you are right now?
So that's one reason why I'm not getting too close so I can hear all of you because it is loud out here. It's profanity.
So the news, even Newsmax, what's the energy like out there, Bob? What's the energy like? What's the energy like? Come on. Who does this guy think he is? Like, what was the DJ on WKRP in Cincinnati? Les Neeson? I'm sure I got the name wrong, but hook me up. Let's check this one out. We've got more of the narrative being all the boxes are getting ticked on this. All of them.
Fox News alert, a woman was killed today during an ICE operation in Minneapolis. An ICE vehicle was stuck in the snow, and while trying to push it out, activists began harassing and blocking their path, boxing them onto the street. A woman parked her car, preventing the ICE agents from leaving, and was ordered to exit the vehicle multiple times. Officers attempted to open her door after she wouldn't comply. That's when she backed up her car and gunned it straight at an ICE agent. The agent opened fire on the driver to defend himself.
We're going to stop it here. We've seen enough of this. They don't really want me to be able to show you this. The mainstream media is painting a narrative They're painting a picture. They are the Bob, what was the guy's name? Bob, whatever his name, Bob, I forget Bob's name, but he was great at painting. And, you know, a little napalm here, a little riot here, a little mustard gas there. That's exactly what he liked to do. But here we got President Trump. I want you to listen to what Trump says. So we've got the left-wing media. They're getting part of what they want. Right-wing media is getting part of what they want. All of the media is getting what they want, because if it bleeds, it leads. And now I believe Donald Trump is going to get the justification that he needs to use the Insurrection Act.
I'm allowed to use the Insurrection Act. In fact, that was on Stephanopoulos today, Sloppydopoulos. They asked Sloppy Chris Christie about the Insurrection Act. He said, well, if you're talking about the Insurrection Act, he's got the absolute right to use that. And he said a couple of things. He said 50% of the presidents that served in office have used the Insurrection Act. And the Insurrection Act, according to all of them, said it can't even be challenged. I don't have to go there yet because I'm winning on appeal. You know, you're right. We're losing with radical left judges, generally, radical left judges, and we're winning on appeal. I'm allowed to use.
I was really expecting to wake up this morning and find some radical left judge that has come out and put an injunction for Donald Trump to send in anything or send in any help, send in anyone. But that didn't happen. I'm sure some of you were prepared for the same thing. A lot of people are saying Tim Walz is effed. Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat from God Bless America. Thank you. Today I go to Sam's Club. I buy all my dog food for my vets. So any and all contributions are going to help for that matter. Let's go here. Tim Walz gets what he wants. A complete distraction from all of the fraud that he has been accused of, allegedly. The Somalians, no one's talking about Somalians right now. They are probably hiding in their mud huts in Minneapolis. And they're like, hey, look at that Karen. She just saved us. Was this lady sacrificed? Proverbially, in reality, not sacrificed. But I believe the Democrat Party will absolutely turn her into a martyr for all of this. This lady had a family. She had a wife, funnily enough, right? And that still sounds weird for me to say a woman had a wife, but whatever. That's just my personal belief.
Minnesotans to hear this from me. The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty.
I mean, what is it like this guy? I know he's stupid, but like that, people are going to go out there, and what do you think is going to happen when you get 3, 4, 5,000 people, some of which are paid agitators, thinking it's their patriotic duty to oppose ICE?
Well, first of all, this guy's a beta, and he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. This is one of the largest fall from grace that we've seen in politics. Could you imagine this man being our vice president? No. And so if he gives me an order, I would actually urge people to ignore it because he has no idea what he's doing. His political career is actually over. Actually, the right thing to do is to abide by the laws of this land, and we are simply trying to enforce the laws. I think Kristi Noem did a wonderful job in explaining what happened and explaining what this administration is trying to do. We're trying to keep our fellow Americans safe. We're trying to keep these Ponzi schemes that are happening in Minnesota from happening. We are trying to ensure that we enforce
the narrative has changed. No one will remember Nick Shirley's name in 3 days. Are there paid agitators in the crowd? I saw that in the comments. Thought I would grab it and put that there. I believe there are. I believe there are paid agitators there. I believe there are a lot of people that will make a lot of money off of this situation. The real profit comes not from the chaos, the rebuilding. This is the new winter of love. You remember that? The mostly peaceful but fiery protest during the summer of love? Well, now we've got the winter of love. I mean, this is winter's coming. If you're it wasn't Lord of the Rings. What was it? Game of Thrones. And there is a Game of Thrones happening right now because I believe Tim Walz will probably step down. I believe he should resign. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But I think the next governor of Minnesota is going to be Amy Klobuchar. keep that name on the back of your tongue, I guess, to talk about the lesbian lady. There we go. Let's play a little more of this. This is Carl Higbee, Navy SEAL, Wesley Hunt, Army veteran. I believe he was a combat pilot, helicopter pilot.
Of law in our own country, like this president told everybody that he was going to do. That's exactly what we voted him to do. Yeah. At the end of the day, this has all got to stop. And what's happening in these liberal bastions are events like this, and the violence will continue unless we continue to have resolve and enforce the rules that are already on the books.
Sure. Do you believe that this continues? I firmly believe this continues. I really think this goes to the next level. We are going to see it get worse. None of these protests go away by themselves. At some point, the president of the United States is going to have to send in the military. We were talking a little bit yesterday about this, and I brought up the fact of Kent State University. Kent State. I brought that up. And I believe you're going to see that again. You're going to see that happen again. Hold on, let me see here. When you get a text message from someone that important, you reply. That's all I got to say. I can't say any further than that, but there is someone very important watching this live stream.
I woke up to some commotion. I heard some whistles going on out front, so I came downstairs to see what was going on. Wasn't even dressed. And there was a car, the Honda Pilot that's crashed over there now. There was a car blocking the 2 lanes of Portland traffic. And the ICE agents got out and they were saying, "Get out of here, get out of here." And she was what looked like trying to turn around. And the ICE agent was in front of her car, and he pulled out a gun and put it right in, like, his midriff was on her bumper, and he reached across the hood of the car and shot her in the face. It was like 3-4 times.
3 or 4 times. I see one hole in the windshield. Was he that bad? Or was he that good? I mean, did he do the Robin Hood and put every bullet through that same hole? I don't know.
And then she must have just stepped on the gas. She stepped on the gas immediately, maybe got like 100 feet or so, and ran into the telephone pole and some cars, and then was slumped over in her car. And you could see she was probably gone. And there was a medic. There was a neighbor who's a physician who was yelling, "Can I please check the pulse?" There was no first responders. There were 0 first responders. They left her in her car, slumped over for about 10-15 minutes.
No first responders. Whose fault was that? Was that the mayor? Was that the governor? 911 calls are not being answered. Police are refusing to go. Whose fault was that? This lady just confirmed it. Her family, as radical left as they probably are, should sue the hell out of Minnesota.
Blocking us all. And eventually EMS got here, and they wouldn't let the bus in, so it was just the EMS workers, and they checked her out for a second, maybe five minutes or so, and then carried her out, no stretcher or anything, carried her out like a sack of fucking potatoes.
Can you describe a little bit about...
Sorry about the language. It's the morning intel brief, and that's just the way it is. But we've got this. Maybe I've been offline too much or too long, but this was in the background, and no one is actually talking about the Tyrannosaurus Rex on the old Camaro. I don't even know what that is. Is that a Pontiac? It's probably a Pontiac. No one's actually talking about the dinosaur. And yes, there is a dinosaur in Minneapolis on this street where this happened. And I believe ICE could have very well been there to get the dinosaur. And I can't believe I missed it. I cannot believe I missed the frickin' dinosaur. And I'm sure none of you saw the dinosaur either. But there you have it. That's what you get on the morning intel brief. We talk about prehistoric animals as well as criminals, rioters, protesters that have an IQ lower than room temperature. That's what we do. Let's see here. The dinosaur is real. MC Hooyah. The dinosaur is real. You cannot make this up. Let's go. I think I've got a couple other things I want to cover. This is a guy by the name of Nick Sorter. Nick Sorter is there. He is an independent journalist. He has reached out and asked for help for security. I tried to pull some strings. I think he got some things happening there, but the backup is real.
I have to wonder how the homeowners feel after seeing what happened to the storefronts and businesses of Minnesota just 6 years ago, less than 6 years ago, how those homeowners in that area
We're
feel.
only blocks away from where the George Floyd situation happened, where if you still go there nowadays, the buildings are still charred. There's still, I mean, it still looks like total destruction, just like it did back then. It's never recovered. And people are worried that that's going to happen again. And all signs point to them wanting it to happen again. Will, they want this to devolve even more. They want, you have Tim Walz on TV alluding to this being a murder, as well as the mayor with his.
I believe they want this to devolve. It's crazy that they have not even rebuilt. They have not even made the repairs from St. Floyd, if that is how you look at this. But the George Floyd situation is 100% real. Let me see here. Let me see here. This is 1,000% real. I believe it's going to get worse, but there are certain people where they're benefiting. There are certain people that have had enough. This lady, it looks like she's a Tennessee fan, and I would be as frustrated as she is as well if I was a Tennessee fan. But I want you to hear her. There's a little bit of colorful language. I'm a sailor. That's just the way it is, shipmate. So let's listen.
You know what? I guess I will be that asshole. Y'all can go ahead and unclutch those pearls because you are not the victims and you are definitely not innocent in this. For months, y'all have been out here objectifying, brutalizing, and degrading these ICE agents. You've been calling them Nazis. You've been calling them animals. You've been calling them murderers. Y'all are the ones that have been out here saying that these people need to lose their lives, that violence against them is justified. You did discourage.
I don't think she's wrong. I don't think she's wrong. This has been a ticking time bomb. They lit the fuse. The fuse is running fast. But I believe that this is a political sideshow. And if you think the Democrats care about what's happening, why would they not care about all of the money that has been sent to the Taliban? All of this money that's been sent to, I forget the name of the damn terrorist organization in Mogadishu that they have been funding. Why would they suddenly care about that? There is a lot of pearl clutching happening.
I'm not interested in the moment that everybody is focusing on. I think that is the mistake that we always make, is that we come upon something and we focus on the moment. But we don't ask, how did we get George Floyd? How did we get Butler, Pennsylvania? How did we get Charlie Kirk? There's a whole series of events.
The people that are rioting and burning down a city for a paid political agitator, someone that stalks ICE agents, the people that are protesting for this woman that tried to run over a federal agent laughed. They actually danced and celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. The irony, the hypocrisy, the complete and utter U-turn of bullshit is undeniable. So don't come at me with this sympathy. My opinion right now, I want to send in like a platoon of Kyle Rittenhouses, because he's the only real person that I've seen take some real action against this kind of bullshit. Okay? I say let's get 50 Kyle Rittenhouses. Let's send in 100 Kyle Rittenhouses right now. That's what we need. Where are all of these like fake groups that are apparently supposed to like take care of everything, right? Where's the Proud Boys? Where's the Oath Keepers? Where's the Hell's Angels? Where are all these groups that everyone miraculously turns to? Oh, they're going to fix it. Huh? Kyle Rittenhouse, zit-faced kid in a Black Rifle Coffee t-shirt, did more than what I'm seeing right now. Even more than law enforcement. I want some door kickers right now. I want some pipe hitters. I want SEAL Team Delta 9. Send in some door gunners on some submarines and clean this up. My blood pressure's getting a little high.
That gets you here. The deliberate mistake the media makes is they ignore what leads to the moment so they can seize the moment to create a narrative. You have a city on edge because that is the desired effect. The key word here, and it always is chaos, because chaos is what is desired. Okay, you want to see how we got here? Most of us know how we got here. There was a migrant crisis that was deliberately encouraged by our politicians for reasons that were financial and political. Went crazy. Trump wins. We bring in ICE agents to fix this problem. They are villainized because they are fixing the problem. We have politicians and activists demonizing people trying to do their jobs with protesters and rioters around to sow chaos. And they are organized and they are sponsored and paid for. The desired effect is this. They want this. This is a success. Do not be fooled by their emotion. This is how they do it.
This is how they do it. This is exactly what everyone wants. The Democrats want a crisis. They want another poster child. They want another Mike Brown. They want another Trayvon Martin. They want another George Floyd. Well, now they've got it. It's not exactly how they wanted it. They would have preferred for her to be a woman of color with 5 kids. That's what they wanted. Instead, they got a lesbian from Missouri driving a Honda Pilot. Okay? Let's be real here. Let's be real. That's what we are here. We're real here. Somebody said they wanted to finish the clip of the chick, the girl from Tennessee. I'll see what I can find. I'll see if I can bring that back up. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the show. Okay? We'll bring her back up at the end of the show because that is a good clip. She was on frickin' fire. She's not a happy lady. Yeah, I saw that comment as well. She is not a happy lady. Let me see if I can find her again. Let's see here. It won't be hard to find her, I don't think. Well, maybe it will. Damn it. I might have lost her. Somebody will find it for me. Let's see here. There we go. We'll find it. Now, I want to show you some of the narratives of how they're painting this picture. Morning Joe, get ready to vomit.
It's beyond me that apparently from the federal government, from the Homeland Security Director herself, has already determined who this person was, what their motive was, and they hadn't even been taken out of the vehicle. We're not living in a normal world.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
We're not living in a normal world. She was stalking ICE agents. The ICE agent that she was about to hit was dragged by another protester last year. So he's probably a little gun shy from this. Let's check out, let's go here. CNN. They always paint a beautiful picture here. They actually, it's like smearing shit on the door, but they do paint a picture.
An eyewitness of the shooting speaking out tonight. Her name is Emily Heller. She lives on the street where the shooting happened, and she filmed video that we have here just now to share with you out front. It shows the chaos immediately after Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed by that ICE agent in Minneapolis hours ago. We're going to play it for you. I do want to warn you that it is graphic.
Can I go? So they don't show the footage before, it's just after. That's how they paint the narrative. That's how they control The messaging.
Hours ago.
Oh, we don't need to watch ourselves. Damn, I forgot I had that one up there. Perfect. Let's go here. Fox News. I think they're okay. They're not the best. Maybe they're all we got.
Surprised you today that this happened?
No, and a great monologue. And, instead of the mayor and the governor blaming the ICE agent who's defending himself and his colleagues, how about the situation, as you talked about, that they created there? When you dox, when you harass, when you interfere with federal law enforcement doing their job, when you're a sanctuary jurisdiction, you create this environment where it's just explosive. And then the rhetoric, I think, as you pointed out, just makes it that much worse. So, God bless these guys who risk their lives and go out there and to face what they have to face day in and day out.
They're not getting rich doing this, by the way.
No,
These agents, they have wives.
I don't think ICE agents are paid enough. I don't think the United States military is paid enough. I really don't, because what they're being subjected to is on a daily basis. They are literally getting dragged by vehicles. I mean, you cannot make this up. You can't make up what's happening. No one, well, you can. Certain people can. And that's just the way it is. But that's the narrative that they're going to paint. That's the methodology. If it bleeds, it leads. I mean, think about it. Think about it. That's just how they get their messaging across. It's very effective on multiple levels. But I don't know what happens next. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's take a couple of calls this morning before I have to actually go to my real job. Let's go here. Let me see if I can pull this up. We always like to get the voice of the people, the voice of the people here on the show. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Questions, comments, concerns, or cuss words. Not too many cuss words. YouTube doesn't like that. Some of the other platforms we're streaming on do. We're streaming on X, Kick, all this other stuff. Let's go here. When you come on, make it quick. I don't want any boring takes. Bring the heat. What do you got, MWP?
Oh, I'm going to bring the heat. Hey, Minnesota's screwed. I mean, Walsh resigning. The writing, or as you say, the poo-poo couldn't be more obvious on the wall. He's going down. It's all going down. Well, there was 1,000 arrests yesterday. I mean, they're killing them. It's over. They're being exposed, and this stuff needs to just be nipped in the bud.
All the people arrested were probably out of jail before we hung up this phone call.
I heard about that. Do you think that's the way it goes?
Cash bail. They are out before. I don't even think they closed the door behind them. I doubt they even closed the door behind them.
That pisses me off, man.
You know what? Get some counseling, get some therapy, get some medication. You're going to be pissed off for a while because this is not going anywhere. MWP, thank you for calling. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks, you. Buddy. Stay safe. Pack heat. Second Amendment all the way. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Let's go here. Line 2, go. Bring the heat.
Yeah, you had a very good point. Let's just be real here. The reality is this.
Okay.
Everything that we, I'm sick of the left and their blame shifting. They're experts at blame shifting. Reality is this. Everything that happens to us is a direct result of a choice that we made. Had that lady yesterday not made the choice to go out and impede federal law enforcement officers, she would be alive today.
Wait a second. Hold on. So you're saying she's not the victim?
I'm saying she's not the victim. Absolutely.
I love it. Okay.
It was a direct result of a decision that she made. She made the choice. She made the decision to go out and to protest and to impede law enforcement officers, federal law enforcement officers. That is what happened to her was a result of a decision and a choice she made. And let's face it, let's be real. That was her choice. That was her decision. And had she not made that choice, she would be alive today.
I want to know.
The blame shifting is bullshit. I'm sick of it.
I want to know, and I'm a firm believer. I don't interfere with people when they're at work. Why wasn't she at work? Where are all of these people at Why are they never at work? This is a Wednesday in the middle of the day. Her and her, quote, wife, and the wife was out of the car filming. This was staged. I believe staged. Thank you for calling. Appreciate you. Let's grab some more calls here. Line are open. 615-475-7864. Feel free to give a call in. Love to hear your opinion. Love to hear your opinion. Let's go here. What do we got? Line 2, go.
Oh, I do believe that she was at work. She was being paid to do exactly what she was doing.
What a great point.
That they all are, well, a majority of them are getting paid.
I'm going to have to let you go. The audio is really bad. It sounds like you've got a pillow over your head. You take care. Horrible audio there. Get an Obama phone. They work better. Get an Obama phone. They're probably freer and work better. They're really good in the riot zones. Okay? Let's see here. Somebody sent me a message. I apologize since you mentioned you got negative. Oh, God, give me a break. I don't care. People can disagree with me all I want. You never have to apologize for disagreeing with me. I don't care. Troll under the bridge. Go. What you got?
I'm happy that the officer didn't get killed. If you look at the end of the clip, he actually takes a few steps and he was limping pretty hard. She hit him with very strong force. And the hole was placed almost directly in the front of the windshield. You can't do that from the side.
Well, the other thing is this guy was dragged by another vehicle last year.
Yep.
He was dragged by another vehicle last year.
This lady also had kids. Why the hell wasn't she home taking care of their kids? She wanted to come over to Minnesota from Colorado to cause chaos.
Wait a second. Are you saying blame the children or think of the children?
No, I'm definitely saying think of the children. Her head was so far up her liberal ass, the jaws of life couldn't extract it.
You know what? I completely agree with you that what we're seeing right now is a complete... this is a control of the narrative. They are controlling the narrative. The Democrats are better at it. And I'm going to go ahead and hit you with this.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Think of the children, man. Think of the children. I mean, that's exactly what's happening, right?
People want to send blankets.
Stop. Think of the children. Think of the children.
You've got to think of the children, right? Troll, appreciate you calling. You take care, brother. Stay out of trouble. There we go. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. We're going to, let's grab this one. Line 2, go. Turn the audio down in the background. It's okay, gotcha. What were you saying?
Where is the Insurrection Act? I mean, file insurrection on all these damn governors.
Well, I think the president has full intentions to do so. It looks to me like he has justification. I'm sure the liberal judges are lining up to be the first one to shut it down.
I'm tired of all this shit.
Where do you live at?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm way down here in Tennessee. Our state is great. They ain't dealing with none of this crap.
Wait a second. Hold on. Nashville, Tennessee is a liberal cesspool.
Well,
Don't give me that.
Cesspool, yeah. The big cities, but out here in these little old counties, we're all good.
I agree with you. But however, the big cities control the narrative because they control the voting population there.
Well, God bless you, Tim. I love what you do.
Appreciate you. Take care. Have a good one. All right, let's go. Some of you are not going to like this clip. I don't really care. I don't really care if you like it or not. It's my show. Start your own if you don't like mine. Here we go. Dan Bongino's back on the scene.
The thing about black pillars, where everything sucks all the time, is they're like, well, we're demanding accountability, but you're not great. So am I. That you're endlessly complaining about things you don't know anything about. Like, that's all you do. Like, he'll shut down the border, 10 people across a month. Why wasn't it 0? Okay, well, can you just acknowledge going from 1 million to 10 is a big deal? That way, and there's a cost to that. And the cost you see is in, polling numbers around the midterms. You can't let this negative vibe constantly set in. That doesn't mean healthy debates about policy are not welcome. Hey, I'm not a big tariff guy. I've said that 1,000 times. Debating policies are fine. debating policies are. I think a lot of the so-called damage from the terrorists was dramatically over-exaggerated. Even people who don't like them haven't acknowledged that now. The economy's motoring, 4% growth. But the black pill complaining and whining all the time about the administration, it's just like, man, what team are you on? Holy Moses, man. So you don't have to watch. It's okay. There's a door. Go find the freaking exits, because I don't.
I'm a firm believer. If you don't like what I'm doing here, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. The black pilling, I believe, is a paid op. I believe it's a paid op. She was armed with a 10,000-pound vehicle. That's a heavy-ass Honda Pilot. That's an up-armored Honda Pilot if it weighed 10,000 pounds, Gooch. Super chat from Airborne Professor. She's a victim of her own stupidity. The trouble with idiots is they drag you to their level and beat you with years of experience. And it sounds like that this lady had a lot of experience in being retarded. I mean, that's what we're seeing. Let's go. Bobby, Tennessee. Talk to me, Bobby. What you got? Make it quick.
I know where the kids are. The kids, they were paying $1,500 each for children to be staged as kids that were in the daycare centers. So they were making triple the money that day.
Well, why not? Why not prostitute your kids out for a Somalian daycare center, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
I mean, that's what it is.
She just committed suicide by cop, pretty much.
It's pitiful, but
it is.
You might be right. But I'm going to tell you this. Do not fall for the fake pearl-clutching outrage. If you think that the Democrat Party gives a shit about if you think the Democrat Party gives a shit about a white woman from Missouri, you're crazy. That's how I would get.
If the only thing that would have made it perfect for them is if it was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
That would have just sealed the deal right there. But right now, they're kind of skating around their original narrative. So they're trying to come up with a way by using the fact that, oh, she's a lesbian and, all this crap. It's all just a bunch of bullshit.
I agree. Bobby, I appreciate you calling. You take care. Stay out of trouble.
All right. Bye.
Great call. Look at the gas prices here. Look at the gas prices here. Pretty amazing. That's what we're seeing right now across the United States. That's what we're seeing. This is what I voted for. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to call in. Let's see here. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Hey, how you doing? Lancaster, California here.
California, you're probably not even allowed to talk to a conservative.
Okay, well, we're out here. I just want to remind everybody, where was the outrage for Ashley Babbitt? She was unarmed, and they gave the guy who shot her, that Capitol Police officer, a promotion and a medal.
And a daycare center raking in $190 million a year.
Yeah, where's the outrage for all that? So,
are you saying that the outrage is not real?
Oh, it's real. It's just we hold our water better than Democrats.
Yeah, I agree. It does seem strange that it is basically, this is like perfectly timed, is what it seems like. It's perfectly timed. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, yeah, the Democrats and the media are using all of these brainless people as tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they don't care that girl was shot and killed. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
That fits their narrative to stoke up the fire to get people to react.
I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much. Take care, Lancaster, California. California checking in. Love it. Let's go here. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I want to play a little Scott Jennings clip and listen to what Scott says. This guy gets paid to do this. I can't believe he does.
I agree with you, Jonathan. I think there's some details we don't know yet, and we'll have to learn more about it. What strikes me is, first of all, it's extremely sad and unfortunate that someone died. I mean, the political fighting and disagreements aside, it's terrible.
Let's grab this call. Line 2, go. What you got, line 2?
Hey, Ben, Josh Kosas here in California. Our gas is still above $4, and threatening to kill someone with a motor vehicle is the same as threatening to kill someone with a gun.
I agree. I mean, sadly, we have a lot of people on the roads right now that will use their vehicles. But on the other side of the coin, we have a lot of protesters that will lay down in the road. They will actually glue their hands to the highway and protest. And now when one of these protesters that will do that tries to run over a federal law enforcement agent, she's the victim. Nobody is, no news station said, how is the ICE agent? How is his family? How is his health? Was he injured? Nobody's asking that question.
Exactly.
Josh, I appreciate you calling. You take care, brother. Have a great one.
Semper Fi, Ben.
Semper Fi. There we go. Great call.
Terrible. You know, you don't want people to die in law enforcement situations or otherwise. But it strikes me that we are undergoing an epidemic of political vigilantism right now. Why are people showing up in vehicles, in convoys, not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country in an effort to obstruct lawful federal law enforcement activities? This is not an isolated incident. We have had hundreds of car rammings against ICE agents all over the country. According to DHS, this lady in this car today, along with other vehicles, had been tracking ICE agents around. Why are people believing that they can drive their car into a federal law enforcement situation and that is an appropriate thing to do? I understand they don't like the fact that these agents are enforcing existing immigration law, but that's not how we change laws in this country. If you don't like a law, you talk to the politicians. You don't drive your car into the middle of a building or a law enforcement situation that's being occupied by the people who are simply there to enforce the law. If I don't like how much the IRS is charging me in taxes, I don't drive my car into the Treasury Department and try to run somebody over. I call my congressman. Political vigilantism is being encouraged by Democratic officials like the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, who earlier this year told people to, quote, put your bodies on the line, and Tim Walz calling these guys Gestapo all year. What do you think happens when you radicalize a base of people about this?
Strike me.
When you radicalize a base of people like this, I'll tell you what happens. You get martyrs. You get what you do. You get what you plant. The seeds you plant is the fruit that you bear. And when you plant vigilantes, when you plant this kind of rhetoric, that's what you're going to get. There we go. Line 2, go. What you got, line 2?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Go. Lines are open.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that it looks like a bunch, when you see all the people going towards this area where this happened, it looks like a bunch of dead, like ghouls coming in to take up all that dark, awful energy that's coming. And you can see them just keep going towards this horrible place. Anyway, that's all I had. Thank you.
I appreciate you calling. They do look like zombies. This is a hive mind. This is a zombie. This is the zombie horde from The Walking Dead. That's what this is. And they're walking right into a trap. They're walking right into a trap. Line 2, go.
Hey, Ben, this is Bub from Ohio.
Ohio, what you got?
Hey, the Columbus, Ohio news is the most spinning narrative news there is. They make me so mad. But this person that tried to kill that ICE agent was a trans. And the guy that tried to break in J.D. Vance's house in Cincinnati is a trans. That's what they're not telling you.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't, I mean, the narrative is the narrative, that, and they control it. The news media controls the narrative. And sadly, it's going to be like that for a long damn time. I believe this started in the first Gulf War when CNN was the first news organization to be on the ground in the first Gulf War, filming this, and they saw then how profitable it was. That's just my theory. But I appreciate you calling, Bub from Ohio. Great call from Ohio. Great call from Ohio. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Let me know what you got to say before I get out of here and go to my real job. So there we go. But what we're seeing is only going to get worse. My opinion, maybe not the facts, just my opinion. I believe it's going to get worse. Let's go here, West by God, Virginia. Talk to me.
Hey, Ben, it's Asphalt, man. How you doing this morning, brother?
Great. What you got, Asphalt?
You know, once again, here we are in a situation where they don't show you what happened 5 or 10 minutes before that happened.
Oh, that doesn't work.
You know, and that's why they're pouring gasoline on this. They want to try to put a narrative. They want to slam this into the oatmeal brain, uninformed voters. You know, they want to try to get this narrative planted in people's heads before anybody has a chance to see. I'm waiting for the body cam. I'm waiting for the body cam footage to come out, because what happened when this thing first popped out, I just happened to catch somebody when they were first reporting it. I hadn't heard it anywhere else. The report is that she tried to ram them first, and they were in the process of chasing her down. That's why all those vehicles were in line. That's why they were jumping out of the cars telling her to stop. She'd already tried to ram them once, but they're not telling you that. You see, you can't hate the mainstream media enough. You cannot hate them enough.
Yeah, there's a lot to, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever, are ICE agents required to wear body cams? I didn't know that.
Hey, Ben, say that again, buddy. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Are ICE agents required to wear body cams? I wasn't aware of that.
I don't know if they do or not. I would say they do. I'm guessing they do.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling, man. You take care. Stay out of trouble.
Love y'all. Stand firm. Stand firm.
Appreciate you. There we go. West by God, Virginia calling in. Let me see here if I can find something. I am looking for information about are ICE agents required to wear body cam. I don't know. Let's see here. That's something I can't find right now. I am not sure if they are. If any, I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that knows. The chat's always smarter than I am. But I can't. Let me see here. Okay. I'm not seeing that. Let's go here. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Let's go Eunice, New York City, or New York. What you got, Eunice?
Hey, Ben. I just happened to flip you on. I just saw you now, so hi to everybody.
Good morning, Eunice.
This is my opinion. We've got the same thing going on that we had when Meatball was in there. Now we just got the same thing, but a different president. The whole outcome, I feel, is going to depend on President Trump. He's got to react. He's got to act correctly, and he's got to act fast.
Do you think that he's going to use the Insurrection Act today?
I don't know if it'll be today, but I think he's going to. I think he's had it up to his eyeballs with all this nonsense. And with everybody is clamoring, you know, they want arrest, they want action. This is what I think he was waiting for. He's got the right, he's actually got all the balls in his court. So now if he makes all his strategic moves like we know he does, he's going to win.
You might be right. Eunice, I appreciate you calling. You take care. Stay out of trouble.
Care.
God bless you. There we go. Eunice, one of the moderators, longtime supporter here on the channel. Guys, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I really believe it's going to get worse before it gets better. We are going to, I don't know what the tipping point is. I don't know what the tipping point is here. That's just my opinion. This is the morning intel brief. After I get out of here, I'm going to go to work. I want to say thanks to all the super chatters that rolled in 2026, the year of FAFO. the year of FAFO. Man, I hate to agree with you. 2026 is starting off a little mostly fiery but peaceful. That's what I got to say. I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. Real job is calling. Thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, thumbs up button. And I thought he was down here. He's not. I'm out of here. Take care. See you on the road.